Hi, and welcome, John Morris Show on a Thursday. Hey, glad you're with us this morning. Sun is shining, beautiful day setting up, starting to get warm here in Central Texas, but a nice day ahead, and we're glad you're with us here in the 9 a.m. hour Central Time live, always archived, available any time of the day whenever it's convenient for you, on YouTube, on Facebook, on X. And if you don't mind, if you could subscribe and follow, we would appreciate that. So welcome into you on this Thursday morning. Fun to be at the Brazos Landing yesterday and visiting with Amy Lawrence on the air and then off the air. Amy announced her new show is coming beginning on August 3rd. That'll be great. But just visiting with her and you know, her background, she worked in the Northeast for the most part, New York, ESPN Radio, CBS Sports Radio. And then when she got married, moved with her husband to Navasota, Texas. And I said something yesterday, or somebody said something about it's starting to get hot. And I said, Amy, it's not even hot yet. You don't know what's coming. And she said, are you serious? And I said, yes, it's just now starting to heat up. So I guess that is, Garrett, you've got to get acclimatized to that, don't you, when you move to Texas?
No, you really do. Like it's one of those things where you hear about the heat, but
Right.
until you actually experience, you
Right.
can't fully justify it, right? Like my daughter had the reverse effect going up north last year. Like
Yeah.
it was like she got her first taste of a Pennsylvania winter and was
Ooh.
like, you know what? I'm not built for this. I'm coming back to Texas.
That's it. I think you acclimatize yourself to, you know, wherever you live, whatever region you live in. And like this, it's going to be mid 90s today, I think, and this week. But it really doesn't feel that bad. I mean, it's all about the humidity. Also, if the humidity is lower, really mid 90s isn't that bad.
No, it's not. I mean, you could tell that we're in for a hot, wet summer, but
Yeah.
it's been pretty manageable so far. Like, but you could tell, like yesterday, I was able to go outside and just kind of have a water gun fight with my son. And
Oh,
it was
nice.
perfect for that.
That's
So
cool.
That's the weather.
That's pretty good. So starting to warm up, and it's going to be a lot hotter before the summer is over. Indoors, air conditioning for the most part. NBA draft wrapped up last night. Second round was complete. 4 more Big 12 players were selected. So in total, 13 Big 12 players were selected in the draft this year. 13. That is an all-time record number for the Big 12. There's the look at the picks. 9 in the first round, including the top 2. And the Big 12 did a pretty cool thing. I don't think I have this graphic, but with picks 1 and 2, they made a graphic that said 1 and 2 equals 12, like the Big 12. So that was pretty clever, whoever came up with that. And a lot to boast about, really, for the Big 12 in the draft this year. Cam Carr, of course, from Baylor, went number 24 in the draft. 4 that were drafted yesterday, the second round, 32nd pick overall, Richie Saunders from BYU. He went to Memphis. Baba Miller, the post from Cincinnati, went to the Clippers. Emmanuel Sharp from Houston went to the Sacramento Kings with the 45th pick. And then the 50th pick, Jaden Bradley from Arizona went to the Toronto Raptors. So they were the Raptors. Those were the 4 picked yesterday, following the 9 in the first round on Tuesday. So record-setting draft. We'll talk more about that with Brian Thornton coming up later in the hour. Brian is the VP for men's basketball for the Big 12 Conference, and he should be justifiably proud of the Big 12 showing in the NBA draft. You'll enjoy hearing from him coming up in just a few minutes. Here's another, some of the marketing opportunities that the Big 12 took this weekend. The conference executed a creative takeover around the Barclays Center with digital and mobile billboards showcasing its hardwood identity under the headline, "The Court That Makes Kings." Talking about the Big 12 courts with AJ DeBonsa and Darren Peterson going 1 and 2. The creative updated to 1 and 2, question mark. That's 12, referring to the conference's position at the top of the draft. So really well done by the Big 12, seizing the opportunity that was in front of them with the so many players from the league being drafted this year. We had the opportunity, I think I mentioned this yesterday, we sat down with Coach Scott Drew yesterday, taped an interview, and that will be out I think today, sometime today, on Baylor Plus first. So if you subscribe to Baylor Plus, you'll get that first, but watch for it on social media also. And it was funny, Garrett. Coach Drew and his daughter Mackenzie, she went with him to New York to the draft.
Right.
And he comes in to do this interview yesterday. It was at 3:00, and that was apparently right when they were getting back to town. They did fly commercial, so they went commercial up there on Tuesday, and then came back on Wednesday. And he's just getting back in town, and comes in and sits down and does the interview with us, and it was great. I mean, talked about all the new players, talked a lot about the draft.
Right.
He and his new best buddy, Spike Lee, sitting side by side there. But the funny part was a couple of things. You know, he was wearing, I think, the same suit that he wore at the draft the night before. And I said at one point, "Did you sleep in that suit?" And he said, "Didn't sleep." And I said, "Okay." And I think he was serious because they had the draft that went till probably 10 or 10:30 our time, which Eastern time is 11:30. And then there's the draft after party, you know, that you go to. And so, and Mackenzie was with him in the studio when we were recording the interview. I said, "How much sleep did y'all get?" She said, "Oh gosh, we got to the room about 2:30 or 3 a.m. and they were up at 5:30 to catch a flight." So at the most, it was 2 hours, 2.5 hours, sleep, and that's not really sleep.
No, it's not. It was well worth it.
Yeah, sure, right.
But yeah, like that's one where you got to take your little cat nap on the plane and hope for the best. But people moving like that, you see it all the time when people win championships and it carries over.
That's right.
It's the same kind of mentality with this.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just built for it. So it's the situation he's been in before.
Absolutely. And again, he handled it so well. It wasn't like he was groggy or anything. He was more wired than he goes the opposite way. He goes to being wired more than being, than groggy. I said, "Did you sleep in that suit?" And he said, "No, but I didn't sleep, but I haven't shaved either." So you talk about a quick trip to New York and making the most of it. Coach Drew and his daughter Mackenzie had that. So watch for that interview coming out shortly with Coach Scott Drew. Other news with Baylor basketball, the announcement came yesterday. I think it came at 10 o'clock, right as we signed off yesterday. In fact, Garrett, you were saying, as I was signing off, you said, "Oh, EJ's coming back," right?
Yep.
That's when they sent it out. Jonathan Chumwa is coming back to Baylor. He is going to be an assistant coach on Coach Drew's staff. How great is that? So EJ, Everyday John, I think Fran Fraschilla gave him that name for his work ethic, has been with the San Antonio Spurs the last couple of years. And how great is that experience-wise? And now he is coming back to Baylor. He will fill out the staff for Coach Scott Drew this year. So he is not in town today. We were trying to get him to sit down also. He wasn't in town. He'll be here Monday. We're supposed to record something with John on Monday, so watch for that. But I just think that's great. You think about the staff now and the way it has filled out for Coach Drew with Coach Ron Sanchez back and Tweety Carter, who was on with us yesterday. He is back. And then you add Jerome Tang coming back home to Baylor, and you add Jake Lindsey there, and then you add now Jonathan Chumwa. That is just a great staff for Coach Drew.
No, it really is. And I love how he's able to get these guys and bring them back. And they've experienced the program. They know the culture. They know, and they are the fruits of the labor. Yeah. So they can go back and say that. And you could talk a lot, but if you've experienced it and you can display that, that's what this adds to this. And I think it's a great hire. Jonathan's his personality is infectious. You just want to be around him. If he walked in trying to recruit me, I want to go play with Jonathan.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what this brings to it. It's really great. And I think it's a great hire, and I'm excited to see what he could do here.
Yeah, very fun. And Coach Drew, talks about, and it's absolutely true, the family atmosphere, around Baylor basketball. You can talk about it all day long, but it is real. It is legitimate with this, with Coach Drew and with this group. And that shows when guys, play here and come back and coach, like Tweety, like Jake Lindsey, and now with Jonathan Chumwa. So really shows the family staying together, if you will.
No, it does. And I think I saw this. I wanted to mention this right here. David Kay put this out perfectly for every Baylor fan on Twitter last night. He says, what a cool time to be a Baylor men's basketball fan. Cameron Carr makes 6 straight years with a first-round pick for Baylor in the NBA. King McClure on the ESPN desk for the draft coverage. You mentioned JTT and Tweedy and Jake Lindsey on the staff now. VJ Edgecombe, NBA all-rookie team. Jeremy Sohan, champion. And the list goes on and on.
Wow.
Baylor basketball right now is where you want to be.
That's pretty cool. That is great. That's a lot of positives, isn't it? I mean, that is so many positive things going on with the program. That's cool. Very good. All right. We are off and running on this Thursday. We appreciate your being with us. Brian Thornton will join us from the Big 12 office coming up in a few minutes. Right now, we'll take a break. Be back with more in just a moment. John Morris Show brought to you by Alliance Bank, Central Texas. 7 convenient locations around Central Texas to serve you better. Also on the web at alliancebanktexas.com. They are your Central Texas business bank, voted by Forbes 2025 Best in-State Banks. That is Alliance Bank, Central Texas. Take a break. Back with more right after this. Stay with us.
Morrison's Gifts, Waco's oldest family-owned gift store, wants to ask a question to the guys out there. Don't you just love gift giving? Does John Hart, Consuela, or Jellycat mean anything to you? If not, at Morrison's, we have your answers and your back. For 47 years, we have guided men and you ladies through the trauma of selecting the right gift for the right person. Come and see us at 4312 West Waco Drive in the Brazos Square Center, close to Jason's Deli. That's Morrison's Gifts, owned by a proud Baylor Bear.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
It's the premier charity event of the year, the 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, presented by Ascension Providence. A fun evening filled with great food and drink, dancing, a spectacular auction, and more. This year's theme is Nashville Nights, Neon Lights, and Bullfights. Get your tickets now, donate, or be a sponsor. Help support the American Cancer Society to find a cure. The 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, October 24th at MCC Highlander Ranch. For more information, go to CentralTexasCattleBaronsBall.org.
Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. And welcome back, John Morris Show on this Thursday morning. We are brought to you by Alliance Bank Central Texas and by the Brazos Landing. Not only do I like sharing news with you about the Brazos Landing, I'm a customer there. I was there Tuesday. We had the luncheon for Kendall Bacon, so that was a fun luncheon. We were there yesterday for the live shows. And I'll be there today. we've got some guys that are getting together, and that will be lunch at the Brazos Landing today as well. So 3 days, Garrett, in 1 week. 3 days in 1 week. And the great thing is I'll order something different and still won't even scratch the surface of the menu.
That's what I was going to say. I know you're a shrimp and grits guy, so you can't do that 3 days in a row.
Right,
so how are you going to shake this up?
No, yeah. Plenty of other options.
Okay.
Yeah, it was shrimp and grits yesterday, but it'll be something different today. But I love the place, and great to sit down and visit with Claude and Becky Lindsay after the show yesterday. They just make you feel so welcome there, and you would feel the same if you go. You know where it is. It's where I-35 and the Brazos River meet. They are that great location with the great river views from the porch, from the swamp shack outside, with the garage doors up, or inside tablecloth tables. So plenty of options there at the Brazos Landing. And Becky made a good point yesterday, 4th of July right around the corner, and that would be a great place to come, have dinner, and watch the fireworks off the back deck, the porch. But you probably need reservations for the 4th of July. So plan ahead there if you'd like to go there. Give them a call. 254-753-2778 is the number, and would be a great location to watch the fireworks on the 4th of July. That is the Brazos Landing, right across the river from Foster Pavilion, right across the interstate. You can walk right under the interstate over to the Brazos Landing from McLean Stadium, and a great location. We'll be there for lunch again today. Fireworks, Garrett, not that far away, 4th of July. Isn't that wild? I mean, next week is the end of the month. June, again, has just flown by, hasn't it?
It did. Like, I was anticipating it getting here, and then all of a sudden we're through it. We're right here to, I've been more focused on, Big 12 Media Days around the corner.
Right.
And with the vacation, I completely forgot, the 4th of July is coming up. And I took my son to my grandpa's, and I'm seeing all these fireworks stands going up. I'm like, it's time to start stocking up for this.
That's right. I mean, that is next week, 9 days away, I guess, from 4th of July. But don't we always say that golly, this month just flew by, and here we are, the 25th of June already today. And it does. I mean, I guess that's not a bad thing, really, although it's summer, and you'd kind of like the summer to last as long as possible.
No, you do. But at the same time, I get the itch, because there's no football, and you're anticipating it. You want the weather to drop a little bit. So once June gets through, we hit July, I'm full focused. I just get me to September and October.
Yep, exactly. When you get to July, and you mentioned Big 12 Media Days, we'll be there July 7th and 8th. It's at the Star in Frisco. When you get to that point, you start talking football, thinking about it. Magazines are out, and it kind of does get the juices flowing thinking about football, which is fun. That is great. But and I've said this before, I always try to stiff arm, hold on. And people, see Terry and I in the store in HEB, are you ready for football? And she says, before I can answer, she says, no, it's summer. Which is fair. That is very fair. So we just try to make summer as good as we can and as long as it can, because man, when the fall gets here, it's just going to be full steam ahead.
No, it really is, and I'm looking forward to it. You got to appreciate the summertime. That's the thing, is you try to take off when you can and build up, especially for you. Y'all are on the road a lot and stuff. So you need to appreciate every moment of the summer that you absolutely can.
Very true. Home at night, home on the weekends, pretty good deal for us in June and July. And this is the weekend young MJ, our son, and I are making a trip. Started a few years ago. So I grew up in Kentucky, so I grew up a big Reds fan. And MJ, a few years ago, with his work, he gets a lot of Marriott points and air miles. And he said, hey, why don't we pick a place and go see the Reds play somewhere over the summer? I said, great, let's go. And so the first year we did it, we went to Washington, D.C., and it was great. Saw a game at Nationals Park, and also, saw some of the sights there in D.C. That was really fun. The second year, we went to Dodger Stadium, and that's the first time I'd ever been to Dodger Stadium, a game there. It was the Reds and the Dodgers. Really, really fun. The next year, it didn't work out. And then last year, we went to Wrigley Field, which was just so great. I mean, I understand why Cubs fans are just so enamored with Wrigley Field and the atmosphere around there. I'd go back there. I'd go back every summer just to go to a game at Wrigley Field. So that's where we went last year. And this year, MJ, looked at the schedule and picked what works best for his schedule, because I'm pretty open. And we're going to Pittsburgh this weekend. So going to Pittsburgh, and Reds play. We'll get there Friday afternoon. We may go Friday night and Saturday afternoon. And the weather looks terrible. I mean, it's the weather forecast for Pittsburgh, 85% chance of rain on Friday and 95% chance on Saturday. So we may be looking for things to do indoors this weekend.
Well, there's plenty. There's plenty to do up there if that happens. You go hit up the Heinz factory or go to Frick Market or something. I love Pittsburgh. It's
you do,
awesome.
don't you?
I do. I love that city.
And you've got that great you have a Roberto Clemente jersey?
I do. I have a Roberto Clemente jersey. I got a few different Pittsburgh Pirates hats and the skiing shirt. I love PNC Park is my favorite park.
Really?
Without a doubt in Major League Baseball. I think that, Wrigley, and then the view of San Francisco, but there's something special about PNC Park.
Yeah, is great. I've been there once. We went there, and I've told this story before. The first year West Virginia was in the Big 12. It was 2012. We went up there. It was September 29th. And baseball season was still going on. Look at the schedule. Reds are playing the Pirates that weekend. So a bunch of us, and we flew into Pittsburgh, stayed in Washington, Pennsylvania, and then Morgantown's another 45 minutes away. But we said, hey, who wants to go back to Pittsburgh and watch a game on the Friday night? And we piled in, filled up a van, and went up there, saw a no-hitter. Homer Bailey threw a no-hitter for the Reds that night against the Pirates. So that was my first and so far only experience there at PNC Park, but another game, hopefully, weather permitting, coming up this weekend. All right, let's take a break, go back to basketball. Brian Thornton will join us from the Big 12 office. He's in the waiting room, and we'll get him on with you when we come back. John Morris Show on this Thursday, brought to you by Alliance Bank, Central Texas, and by the Brazos Landing in Waco. We'll take a break and be right back.
The Pete Souza Show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. You want to talk NFL draft? I don't know. How about we get you Todd McShay? You want to talk Big 12? We can get you the commissioner. Somebody about the Cowboys? How about we have on the owner, Stephen Jones? Pop culture? Michelle Beadle. I mean, we will bring on the people that you want to hear from. And these people don't join us because of me. They join us because of you. You got to watch this show, okay? It's got everything you need. Sports, hijinks, laughs. Did I mention hijinks? We'll see you on the Pete Souza Show. Now, we are under the 365 Sports umbrella. Check it out. I'm wearing a Tulane shirt. No idea why.
It's the Pete Souza Show. Sports, team.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
It's the premier charity event of the year, the 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, presented by Ascension Provident. A fun evening filled with great food and drink, dancing, a spectacular auction, and more. This year's theme is Nashville Nights, Neon Lights, and Bullfights. Get your tickets now, donate, or be a sponsor. Help support the American Cancer Society to find a cure. The 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, October 24th at MCC Highlander Ranch. For more information, go to centraltexascattlebaronsball.com. alliancebank.org.
Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
And welcome back, John Morris Show on a Thursday. We've had a lot of basketball talk this week, deservedly so. In June, NBA draft wrapped up last night at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, and it really was a historic draft for the Big 12 Conference. No better guy to talk about that than our next guest, Brian Thornton, the VP for men's basketball for the Big 12, joins us now. And Brian, good morning to you. Thanks for your time. How are things?
I'm well. Good to see you.
You too. Thank you very much. Were you in Brooklyn? Were you at the draft?
You know, I was planning on going to the draft this year, but my daughter, who's 11 years old, was playing in the nationals for volleyball, club volleyball in Minneapolis, and her team actually won the national championship this past weekend, which was really exciting. So I was on dad duty this weekend, so we watched the draft from the house once we got back.
Very cool. You made the right choice. That's great. And what a historic draft is the word we keep using for the Big 12. 9 first-round picks and 4 more in the second round, 13 total, an all-time high. Pretty amazing, wasn't it, the Big 12 showing at the draft this year?
Yeah, and this is something we talked about all year. We kind of expected this to a certain extent, just as we kind of saw how things were playing out. Obviously, having AJ Devonta and Darren Peterson go 1-2, that's something that people were talking about the entire year, as those guys were kind of predicted to be in that position. But then when you saw some of the other guys really emerge over the course of the year, it's really a testament to what our coaches were able to do from a development and recruiting standpoint. Guys like Braden Burries, Kingston Flemings, those 2 guys both went in the top 10. Kingston Flemings came into college as like the number 25 ranked freshman in the country, and he became a top 10 pick. So, and Braden Burries was expected to be a very good player. I think he was a top 15 player coming into the year. But both those guys really matured and grew throughout the course of the year, and we had others across the entire league that really did the same thing.
And you're right. You guys did talk about it all year, and we talked about it. You couldn't help but miss how many great players there were in the Big 12 this past season. But does it does the message of the Big 12 kind of reach a different audience when it's on a stage like the NBA draft?
I would hope so. And, I think it does. We've continually talked about the strength of our league, how we believe that this is the second best basketball league in the country behind the NBA. And this year, I think we really proved that merit, both with the way our teams performed over the course of the year, how they performed in the NCAA tournament. And then it really culminated by seeing the kind of the star power and the quality of players that we had that were drafted in the NBA.
Pretty amazing, isn't it, to have 2 players from the same league go 1 and 2 in the NBA draft like we had this year?
Yeah, it was unique. As I said, both AJ and Darren, they've kind of been slotted in that spot for the last several years. Even when they were high school players, they were being kind of predicted to be 1-2, that jockeying position. And it really played out this year in very different ways. AJ had a fantastic year from the standpoint that he really carried BYU, deep into March and whatnot. And, had led college basketball in scoring, and was playing 38, 40 minutes a game down the stretch. And he just really kind of put that on his back and really showed his durability and, his strength as a player and his versatility. And on the other hand, we probably, unfortunately, didn't get to see the very best of Darren Peterson. We saw flashes of it. And when we did, it was clear the talent level and why NBA executives have been drooling over him for the last several years. But because of some injuries and whatnot, we weren't able to fully realize it. And, I've said recently that it would have been nice for those guys to match up maybe a couple more times over the course of the year, like in our conference tournament in a big matchup where they went head to head, and we could have seen kind of what that rivalry or that budding rivalry could look like for the next several years in the NBA.
Yeah, that would have been fun. And our guy, Cameron Carr, he slid a little bit from pre-draft projections, but still to get drafted by the Knicks and get traded to the Lakers, it seems like Cam Carr ended up in a good spot.
He did, and Cam he's one of my favorite kids. You know, he's a kid I got to know pretty well over the course of this year, from spending time around the Baylor program, whether it be coming to practice or seeing you guys in Las Vegas or different places. And I just think he's a really good kid, you know, and he's a great story. You know, the fact that he spent time at Tennessee early on in his career and was, you know, fairly lightly used. I think he had, 44, 48 points coming into this year as a college player. And then in his first 2 games, he was able to eclipse that at Baylor. Yeah. And then he really kept that momentum going throughout the course of the year. Obviously, he comes from great pedigree with his dad being an NBA player, but I really think he cut his own path. And that's a testament to him. It's a testament to his family, that he took a chance on coming to Baylor, and it really worked out. I saw him at the NBA Combine. He was fantastic, both physically, but also, you know, what he did, what a lot of other guys don't do, is he played in the 5-on-5 games at the NBA Combine to try to increase his draft position. It comes with some risk. You know, if you don't play well, then you can slide down, and we saw that from several other players. But he took a chance. He played well. I think he had 30 points in the game that he played, made 6 threes, and that kind of solidified him as a first-round draft pick. And it also solidified him that he needed to stay in the NBA draft.
Brian Thornton, our guest, VP for men's basketball for the Big 12 Conference. Was this year a little bit of an anomaly? I mean, I don't think we could go into every year thinking we're going to have 9 first-round picks from the Big 12. But just with all the great freshmen who came in and all the talent in the league this year, could we expect this or something close to this year after year? Or how would you explain the way things sort of fell in place this year?
Well, I think this year we knew that there was going to be a lot of quality freshmen in the league, especially at the very top. You know, I think we understand, even guys like Chris Senack, who ended up with the Celtics. He was a top 10 player in the country coming in this year and still was a first-round draft pick. Tunde Yesufu, who didn't end up, you know, going through the entire draft process, but he was another high-powered freshman. So we had like 7 or 8 of the top 25 freshmen in the league coming into this year. And we're going to have quite a few of those this year as well. You know, Arizona has one, BYU has one, Kansas obviously has Terrence Stokes and the number 1 freshman again this year. So I think we certainly can expect that we're going to have more draft picks, especially towards the top again, if these guys continue to develop. But again, I think it's a testament to our institutions. It's a testament to the investment that our programs are making and who our coaches are. We have some of the very best coaches in the entire country within the Big 12. And when you have that, people want to come play for you, and they have the ability to develop players. And many of them have a proven track record of putting guys into the NBA.
Yeah. Very well said. We talked to Coach Drew yesterday, and it was fun watching the draft, wasn't it? It looked like a Big 12 coaches meeting up there at the draft with all those guys that were there, you know, with their players waiting to be drafted.
Yeah, it was. And it's always good to see those guys supporting their players. And, you know, it's a little bit of an infomercial for their institutions to a certain extent when you see, you know, whether it's Coach Drew or Coach Sampson or anybody else, they're shaking hands and giving hugs to the guys who are getting drafted. It lets other recruits know, like, you know, not only are these guys real people, they're great coaches, but they're also going to be supportive influences on the young men that they're coaching. You know, I think that it also really goes to show that, like, in our league, we certainly had the high-powered freshmen, which we've discussed, but there was guys that did it in a lot of different ways, you know, that got drafted yesterday or the last couple of days from the Big 12. You had a guy like Richie Saunders, who was a 4 or 5 year guy at BYU who was drafted, who's coming off of an ACL injury, but he really showed that, like, if that hadn't happened, he's a bona fide first round pick as well. He kind of had some unfortunate circumstances. Jaden Bradley, who was the player of the year in the league, did a great job at Arizona. Baba Miller, who was a guy who really emerged in the second half for Cincinnati, and he was able to be drafted. And then like a guy like Emmanuel Sharp, again, a 4-year, 5-year guy who was just a worker and continued to get better year after year. You often see that in the NBA draft, is that the first round, especially at the very top, is filled with elite freshmen and younger guys. And then what you seem to find in the second round or even later in the first round are guys that are glue guys that are kind of ready-made, older guys that are hopefully ready to come in and maybe not be the face of a franchise, although it can happen, but they're there to be supporting guys and come in and fill roles, especially on teams that are already in good position.
Yeah, really good. Hey, let me ask you another question while we've got you. Big 12 spring meetings were last month. Basketball coaches were there. I think they talked about possibly going back to a 20-game conference schedule, but then settled on 18, which makes a lot of sense for a lot of reasons. What were some of those conversations like regarding scheduling for Big 12 teams?
Yeah, well, I will say that we have – that's an ongoing conversation. That's not something that's been decided. Obviously, we're going to be playing 18 games for this year. For the 26-27 year, but potentially going back to a 20-game conference schedule is something that's on the table for future years, and we'll continue to have those discussions with our coaches and administrators over the coming weeks and months, and ultimately we'll make a decision that we feel like is in the best interest of the entire league. And there's a lot of reasons why we continue to have those discussions. Obviously, when you think about 2030 is our opportunity to re-enter the media market sweepstakes for our next media rights contract. And, the best position we can put our league in is to have the best value possible. Ratings matter, and conference games tend to rate a whole lot better than non-conference games do. And we're also in a world, for good reason, where NIL has become king. And a lot of the teams across the country, they're playing a lot more neutral site NIL games in order to kind of fill their coffers to support paying for their student athletes. And so that means that there's less kind of those quality traditional home games that you would have seen in the past. So those games are the ones that would be under conference control, where our media rights partners would have access to put those games on TV. But when you have a lot of neutral site games, you lose the ability for an ESPN, Fox, et cetera, to have those games on their broadcast network. So that's another consideration. But what's good for Baylor or what's good for Kansas or what's good for Houston might not be what's best for Cincinnati, UCF, or Utah. So we're trying to weigh and balance those things, but it's an ongoing conversation.
I got you. That's good information. And final thought, that Players Era tournament in November back in Las Vegas, Baylor will be there again. That's turned into a really big deal, hasn't it? I mean, it's growing, and the Big 12 has a stake in that now. Yeah,
we're excited about it. We've partnered with Players Era really from the beginning on just that being kind of a beacon or a way to start the college basketball season. And this year, there's going to be 24 teams. It's expanded from, I think, 8 to 18 to 24 next year. And there's even conversations about potentially going up to 32 in the following year. So we'll see where it goes. But it's kind of been that preeminent new MTE, multi-team event that kick off basketball season. And, we're excited about our teams in it. We have 8 teams in it. And it should be a really fun time in Las Vegas around Thanksgiving.
Very cool. Hey, thanks for your time. Really appreciate it. I know you're busy. Congratulations to your daughter on the volleyball national championship. And Absolutely. I appreciate your time. We'll see you down the road.
Okay. Thanks, John. Have a great one.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Brian Thornton, great job as as the Big 12's vice president for basketball, men's basketball, and very plugged in, very knowledgeable. And again, a lot to be proud of with Big 12 basketball coming off the NBA draft this year. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll look ahead. We'll share some birthdays with you. Plenty more to come. Stay with us. John Morris Show on a Thursday, brought to you in part by Allen Samuels. It's the summer sales event at Allen Samuels in Waco. How about this? Drive home a new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo, 0% financing for 36 months or 2.9% for 84 months, or save $9,000 off MSRP. The 2026 Dodge Charger RT, and you can score $6,000 in savings. Remember, first responders and military members get an extra $500 bonus. Check it out at Allen Samuels, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. They'll treat you like family at Allen Samuels. Take a break. Back with more right after this.
Bumblebee Blinds of Waco and Temple is your one-stop shop for custom window treatment, transforming your vision into reality. Choose from a selection of shades, blinds, shutters, and curtains. Bumblebee Blinds stands behind our service and products, ensuring peace of mind with our trusted warranty. Call Bumblebee Blinds today to schedule your design consultation. Bumblebee Blinds, simplifying window treatments one covering at a time. BumblebeeBlinds.com.
The Pete Souza Show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. You want to talk NFL draft? I don't know. How about we get you Todd McShay? You want to talk Big 12? We can get you the commissioner. Somebody about the Cowboys? How about we have on the owner, Stephen Jones? Pop culture? Michelle Beadle. I mean, we will bring on the people that you want to hear from. And these people don't join us because of me. They join us because of you. You got to watch this show, okay? It's got everything you need. Sports, hijinks, laughs. Did I mention hijinks? We'll see you on the Pete Souza Show. Now, we are under the 365 Sports umbrella. Check it out. I'm wearing a Tulane shirt. No idea why.
It's the Pete Souza Show. Sports.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco. One of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
Like Allen Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Allen Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
This year, I made a New Year's resolution. I want every business to own a new copier from CTWP. Call me, Leroy the Copier Dog. Let's get you a copier delivered today. CTWP, your local copier company.
Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Welcome back on a Thursday. John Morris Show. Pleased you're with us today. We are brought to you by Alliance Bank Central Texas and by the Brazos Landing every day of the week. We're also brought to you by Tow King of Waco, here to help the next time you're stuck on the road. Locally owned and family-run business. That's Gary Hoffman and his crew. Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance With highly trained operators, Toe King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Toe King the next time you need help. Number is 254-666-5484. 254-666-5484 for Toe King of Waco. Also brought to you by the Lake Waco Golf Club, nestled along the north shore, north point of Lake Waco. It's one of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course plus an executive 18-hole par 3 course there at Lake Waco. The bar and grill is open to the public. Check them out on the web at lakewacogc.com. And thanks again to Brian Thornton, who was with us last segment. I blew his title, and I apologize for that. It used to be, it was vice president for men's basketball, but Brian very kindly corrects us that his title is chief basketball officer. So I apologize for that, but really speaks to his experience, his knowledge, and his work with basketball, men's basketball for the Big 12. All right, thanks to Brian for being on with us. We'd like to share birthdays with you. Well, who do we have on this 25th day of June? It is Jeremy Fudge's birthday today. Jeremy, a tremendous Baylor alum and supporter, our football, Baylor football, their offices, and they're just in a palace, the Fudge Football Development Center, thanks to Jeremy and his generosity. So the thing you need to know about Jeremy Fudge is he is a huge U2 fan, to the point that he has a collection that could be made into a museum for U2. He just collects these things. I'm not sure what all he has, but Nick Florence has told me that it could be a museum for U2. And that's what Jeremy Fudge likes, one of his hobbies, and just a great guy, very generous toward Baylor. And happy birthday today to Jeremy Fudge. Jeremy and Nick, by the way, about a month ago, went on a little excursion. They hiked to the base camp at where was it? Was it Mount Fuji?
Ooh.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Mount Fuji. What would be? It's one of the biggest in the
Everest?
world. Everest. That's
Mount
what it was.
Everest?
That's it. Mount Everest. You're right. To Mount Everest.
Oh.
Now they went to the base camp. They didn't, go to the summit, but even that is unbelievable. And Nick and Jeremy have great stories about that. You're right. It was Mount Everest. So pretty cool for those guys to do that together, to train for it and then to do that. So happy birthday to Jeremy Fudge today. It's Sarah Jamar's birthday, one of the biggest Oklahoma State fans that I know. Happy birthday to Sarah. Who else? It's Barry Graves' birthday today. Happy birthday to Barry. Appreciate him. I know a lot of you know him. Happy birthday to Barry Graves. That is all that I have on the list, the birthday list today. So happy birthday to those folks. We're going to move out of here, Lord willing. We're back tomorrow in the 9 a.m. hour. We do appreciate your being with us. Thanks again to Brian Thornton, Chief Basketball Officer for the Big 12 Conference, being on with us. Great information there. Coming out of the draft, talking about scheduling that Players Era Tournament, which Baylor is in again this year in November in Las Vegas. Bears were there last year. That's become the go-to tournament in November. And there's so many big name teams and programs that are there. It's the place to be. Michigan was there last year, and Pat and I sat and watched Michigan play in November and thought, oh my gosh, this is a powerhouse team. And what they do, they won the national championship. So really cool tournament. Baylor is a part of it. Big 12 will have 8 of the 24 teams involved in the Players Era Tournament. I think that is Thanksgiving week, the week leading up to Thanksgiving in Las Vegas again this year. But thanks to Brian for being on with us. We appreciate him. Tomorrow, our World Cup aficionado makes another appearance. That is Paul Jobson. He's got the lowdown on the World Cup. Oh, and the U.S. plays tonight, 8 o'clock tonight, Central Time. Baylor. U.S. versus the country that we have called Turkey, but now
Turkey,
is, I guess, their version of it.
So I actually was curious. Apparently, there was a couple of years back, there was a summit where they petitioned to have it changed because it translates more naturally to Land of the Turks.
Okay.
So that's how they've
Turkey-A.
transitioned it to Turkey-A.
Yeah. So are the announcers tonight, are they going to call it Turkey-A the whole time?
Turkey-A, yeah. It's no longer Turkey. I guess we've probably been saying it wrong forever.
I guess that's
and
right.
They just wanted to, they had an opportunity to present it and properly address it, I guess.
Got you, right.
But yeah, it's Turkey-A and it goes to Land of the Turks. But yeah, that's how we do it now.
Okay. So U.S. versus Turkey-A coming up tonight, 8 o'clock. It's on Fox. That'll be fun to sample some of that tut U.S. is already advanced to the knockout round, but this is the final match in the pool play or the group play. But U.S. trying to continue that momentum. Where is that one tonight? Are they back in Los Angeles?
Yeah, that one's in L.A. tonight.
Yeah, so back in L.A. They were in Seattle for the win over Australia, now back in L.A. So a day full of build up for the World Cup. Again, so many matches around the country, and USA in action tonight against Turkey-A. We'll talk about all that tomorrow with our World Cup aficionado, Coach Paul Jobson. Hey, thanks for being with us. We appreciate the Brazos Landing. We appreciate Alliance Bank Central Texas. Thanks to Brandon and Garrett behind the scenes. Thanks to you for tuning in. Have a great day. Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow morning at 9. Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Spring is sprung, and now's a great time to schedule a checkup for your vehicle. As Texas weather changes, it's important to make sure you and your loved ones are safe on the road. Request an appointment online at CompleteCarCareCenter.com today. We're equipped to handle all major and minor repairs on your vehicle. Our experienced technicians can check the health of your tires and inspect your vehicle for any unseen issues. Kish Complete Car Care Center at 5300 Franklin, where we take pride in keeping individuals safe honestly.